Okay, we're ready to start. First of all, welcome. My name is Martin Garza. I am the Chief of Staff for Commissioner Everardo Villarreal here in the County of Hidalgo, Precinct 3. I want to thank everybody for taking the time this afternoon for making it out here to the Anzalduas Park. We're located just south of Mission, Texas. And obviously here because we have a very pressing issue here in our area. And not just in our area, but really this is a huge regional area that we're having this issue with, and it's important that we come together and that we're transparent with the public and that the public is aware of exactly what the County of Hidalgo and the City of McAllen is doing regarding this issue. So here with us today we have several elected officials, and we do have appointed officials from not only the County of Hidalgo but also from the City of McAllen who are participating in this operation. So without further ado, I'd like to introduce our County Judge, Richard Cortez.
Martin, thank you, and good afternoon to all of you again. We're here to announce a new temporary facility, which you can see here to my left behind us, that is intended to house and take care of asylum seekers that are immigrants who have come here and tested positive for COVID. Some of those do not have COVID, but their family members chose to stay with them while they recover from the disease and ultimately will be turned loose when they test positive. As you know, this is a federal issue. These immigrants are here based on the laws of our nation, legally seeking asylum. It is the federal government's responsibility to care for them and to take care of them. Unfortunately, some, because of the very high volume of immigrants that are coming here, we've reached a point of capacity. So before, in the past, capacity was not an issue. We were able to handle these immigrants in a safe, secure way, without interfering with any one of our local citizens. But that situation changed, and we had to create additional capacity. Over the weekend and early part of this week, through communications with the City of McAllen, City of Mission, and the county, it was decided that this would be a very suitable place in order to prepare a temporary facility for those people. We believe that this helps move some of those immigrants off a more dense populated area, such as the City of McAllen, to an area such as this. So for more detail, I want to turn it over to Commissioner Everardo. This is a Precinct 3 facility that he is in charge. He's being one of the leaders that led to where we are today. And I'll invite him to come over here and give you more details of this new facility. Commissioner?
Thank you all for being here today. Well, I got a call yesterday from McAllen Mayor Javier Villalobos. He was very concerned. So, I had other meetings, and I had to cancel those to meet with him at 3:45, where he updated me on the situation that they were having in McAllen with some of these immigrants. And although this is a federal issue, the safety and health of our Hidalgo County residents is a priority for us. So I authorized the use of Anzalduas Park, as it is perfect because it has natural barriers that will help or protect our Hidalgo County residents. This has been a very sad year for a lot of us that have lost family members, relatives, neighbors, and our parents. So it's been hard for everybody. So the boat rides need to stop. We need to have creative, common sense solutions to solve this problem that is having an impact on the safety and health of our Hidalgo County residents. With that, I want to thank you all again for being here, and I want to introduce our McAllen City Manager, Roel Rodriguez. Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. And thank you all for being here. Mayor Villalobos sends his regards and his regrets that he cannot be here, so that he asked me to come and attend this very important announcement. First, I want to thank a few people. I want to start with the Bishop for being here, because of all the people that are in this crowd, here's the one that we need the most. Bishop, thank you so much. We appreciate everything that you do. And the truth of the matter is that without Catholic Charities, who knows where this community would be, this entire region. We would not be able to handle what we've been able to do without Catholic Charities. There is no doubt about that. Thank you, County Judge Richard Cortez and Commissioner Everardo Villarreal for making this happen and making it happen so quickly. We all know how fast this thing moves, and when I say this thing, this COVID infection and this immigration issue, how fast it changes. And so almost on a daily basis, and sometimes multiple times a day, events on the ground change. And we are very, very blessed for a staff that we have in the city of McAllen and Hidalgo County, that we're able to adapt quickly and make quick decisions and act as we have to. You know, for us in the city of McAllen, we're on month 87 of this, okay? Month 87. We have been dealing with this immigration issue for 7 years and 3 months, and the days keep counting. And when we thought things were getting better, we were glad. We knew we were blessed, and things turned around. And it got turned around for a couple of reasons. We're seeing a volume of immigrants that we have attempted to protect now for 7 years, and the combination of the number of immigrants and the COVID-19 has made this very, very complicated. And so when Catholic Charities turned to us and said, City of McAllen, we can't handle these numbers anymore, we realized that this was a crisis, because they've been doing this for 7 years, and my hats are off to all of them. So here we are asking the federal government to help us. As everyone has said before me and will say after me, is that this is a federal issue. We have done everything that we can as a community and as a region to ensure the safety and health of our citizens in Hidalgo County and the city of McAllen, as well as the immigrants. And we've gotten to the point that we're having to go to alternative sites like this. We're very lucky to be able to be here, but nevertheless, it's a task that we'd rather not have. And so we're so glad and thankful for the county to come to our aid, really, but we ask that the federal government come here and help us and take care of this situation. In our opinion, there's only two options. One is to take over this operation, that is their responsibility, or two, stop the immigrants until we can catch our breath. So with that, I'd like to introduce a member of Congressman Cuellar's office, NICOLAS. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you all for being here. The Congressman sends his regards. He's not able to attend, but I have a statement to read on his behalf. As a border representative and someone who has spent my entire life living at the southern border, I understand the importance and severity of this crisis and how it affects my community every single day. I have supported $800 million for up to 4 multi-agency integrated migrant processing centers, $750 million to support irregular migration surge response plans, and $160 million in federal funding for the Emergency Food and Shelter Program. In addition, I have continuously called on President Biden and DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas to act on this matter. This situation is dire and action needs to be taken immediately. I will continue to work with local officials to provide them with the resources that they desperately need and pressure the Biden administration to act. And I'd like to introduce Emergency Management Coordinator Ricardo Sadania.
Thank you. Good afternoon. I'd like to thank the City of McAllen and the cooperating agencies that had made this happen. By us working together as a team between Hidalgo County, City of McAllen, Office of Emergency Management from Hidalgo County, McAllen Emergency Management, the County Fire Marshal, the City of Mission Fire Marshal's Office, and the Public Works Department for the City of McAllen, this has been a collaborative effort to make this shelter program work. All safety measures have been put in place with the appropriate agencies, verifying that everything is well said and done. All emergency contacts have been made to make the appropriate measures should there be an event in at this location. By us working together, we can make a difference. And I also like to thank all the other municipalities in the valley that have stepped up to the plate to support this effort. Again, thank you all very much. I'd like to call Bishop Daniel Flores to the podium.
Thank you very much. I want to say, first of all, I'm very grateful to the judge and city manager and all who have worked in this rapidly changing circumstance to address the situation, and this cooperative effort here in the Valley to address some of the human reality. It's very important to kind of realize that now for 7 years, Catholic Charities has been involved because federal officials have admitted a number of immigrants into the United States with permission, and we have assisted in the humanitarian treatment of these families. We generally deal with mothers and children. Unaccompanied adults are handled in a different way. They go through Health and Human Services. That's part of the reality. But if they have been approved for entry so they can join a family member, then we receive them, and basically it's an overnight process. They get clothing, they get food, they get a shower. For children, we give them new shoes and things like that. And then very rapidly they travel out of the valley, because very, very few of them have any family here, to go on to their point of destination, which has been approved by the federal government. This has been a cooperative effort that certainly Catholic Charities has been involved with, but also with a lot of non-governmental volunteers, Catholics, non-Catholics. The synagogues have helped us from around the country and so forth, in just ongoing effort to make sure that the human dignity of the immigrant is protected and upheld, and to deal with the mothers and the children and the fathers. But one of the great signs over the last 7 years has been the cooperation of the local communities. The city of McAllen has always been helpful, the counties throughout the valley in many, many different ways, mostly to help ease and to treat with humanity these brothers and sisters of ours. And we have been doing that. As has been mentioned, COVID has made this extremely much more complicated. We have from the very beginning been testing with the cooperation of the city of McAllen in everybody who is admitted into the country before we move them either to their next destination. If they're found positive, then they were immediately put in a quarantine situation, as the judge mentioned. If their families were not positive or wanted to stay with their family members, which is muy entendible, very understandable, then we would try to. Initially, the numbers were fairly small in terms of the COVID reality. We would sequester them, we would put them aside in a quarantine place as best we could, quite efficiently. As everyone has mentioned, it has become much more complicated in terms of the numbers who are testing positive. So I think what we have found here is a creative sort of solution. It's not the best solution in the long run, but it is the best solution that I think we can do right now, which is to continue to treat with great humanity persons who have been confided to our care by the federal government. I want to make that very clear so that people don't think that we're just bringing people ourselves. This is a cooperative effort of the governmental agencies, and I want to just emphasize this, and we continue to do everything we can to treat with humanity. And I'm very the spirit of the valley has been very evident in this long term, in terms of just somos pobres pero damos lo que tenemos. We are poor, but we give what we have to help people who are suffering. This is the heart of the valley in that sense. And it's a struggle, and things don't always work out the way you plan, but the cooperation of the whole community. I can speak of so many mayors I've spoken to, so many judges, and just kind of trying to do this. At this point, as Judge mentioned, because of the need to both protect the local community with regard to the COVID virus, and also to protect the immigrant family, we have to kind of adapt ourselves. Tenemos que adaptarnos. And this is what this represents, this particular move here. There will be obviously medical personnel who will be checking up on the progress. Once someone tests negative, then they can go on to the next destination. I do think it's very important that we acknowledge the widespread support in the Rio Grande Valley from the counties and the cities and the towns, and very, very ordinary people who volunteer, who spend hours washing clothes, preparing meals. We depend on that. This generosity of so many people who may be Catholic or may not be Catholic, but they have a sense of the need to attend to those who are in great distress. And so we need to do that. I do think it's important, though, as we've heard, that the federal government and the state government hear how it is that the local governments are doing everything we can with the help of other agencies like our own, the Catholic Charities. We're doing everything we can to kind of both address the situation with dignity and organize it as efficiently and protect the local community. This is very important. But I think, quien soy yo, pero yo digo that I really do think that the wider picture as to how this effort can be more cooperatively supported at higher levels of the government, state and federal, and can talk to each other and talk to us basically here on the ground as to what the situation is. So I pray every day. I'm grateful to Sister Norma and to the Respite Center, because the fact is, if the Respite Center were not here, and the Respite Center will continue to operate, those who are not positive, who are negative, will continue to be able to go on to the next destination from one day to the next. But if it were not here, the question would be, where would these families go? And unfortunately, the answer may be under a bridge or on a street, mothers and children, and that, to the heart of the valley, and certainly for the mind of the church here locally, and that's what we've been trying to do, is to kind of see that there's a better way to do this in cooperation with everybody involved. So I'm grateful for all the efforts that have been made. We will continue to do everything we can within our resources to support the operations that the city and the county have prepared here, and continue to look for creative solutions, and that will until, hasta que lleguemos a un momento más propicio, until we get to a better moment in this situation. But it is difficult. I ask people to be patient and to recognize that the cities and the counties are doing everything they can to keep this safe and to protect human dignity, and for that I'm very grateful. Muchas gracias.
Before we continue, I would like to bring Commissioner Everardo Villarreal back to the podium. This is for the Spanish-speaking stations who are here with us today, and for the audience, so we can make sure that we do attend to their needs, and also be able to answer some of the questions for those stations. Thank you.
Buenas tardes a todos y muchas gracias por estar aquí el día de hoy. Mi nombre es Everardo Villarreal y soy comisionado de Precinto 3 del Condado de Hidalgo. Y pues nada más les quiero informar que el día de ayer me habló nuestro alcalde de McAllen, Javier Villalobos, para obviamente hacer una junta de emergencia. Nos juntamos a las 3:45 de la tarde de ayer, donde me dio la evaluación de lo que estaban viviendo en la ciudad de McAllen con varios de los inmigrantes. Y obviamente este es un problema federal, pero la salud y el bienestar de nuestras familias en el condado de Hidalgo es una prioridad para nosotros. So, les dimos el permiso de que pudiera usar el parque de Anzalduas para traer a muchos de estos inmigrantes aquí, y como ustedes ven, esta es una área que naturalmente está protegida a su alrededor por barreras naturales y protege la comunidad del condado de Hidalgo, aunque no hay nadie en los alrededores que puede ser afectado, porque la mayoría de la gente o toda la gente que está aquí obviamente han salido positivos. So, la salud es una prioridad para nosotros y estamos dispuestos a ayudar a no nomás la ciudad de McAllen, para el resto de las ciudades. Como ya saben todos, hubo un incidente en La Joya donde teníamos varios inmigrantes caminando las calles y en varios restaurantes, obviamente sin protección de cubrebocas, y pues eso no es aceptable para nosotros, que estén dentro de la comunidad del condado de Hidalgo, afectando a nuestros residentes. Este año ha sido un año bien triste para muchas de nuestras familias, porque muchos hemos perdido seres queridos, y pues ya queremos prevenir y tratar de hacer todo lo posible para proteger a nuestra ciudadanía. Por eso es importante, ya los momentos de estar en los viajes de lanchas ya no los queremos soluciones para combatir este problema que estamos viviendo todos, que es uno federal, que está afectando a nuestros residentes, el estado de salud y la seguridad. Muchas gracias, que Dios los bendiga a todos el día de hoy.